Welcome to Adrift in Aldhalor, our weekly actual play D&D show set in our homebrew world of Aradun. Our music is licensed through musicbed.com, and occasionally we will use Syrinscape or TabletopAudio for Ambience. And we use Bardly to disperse our music to you all out there in the internet, and all of those at the table. All great services. I'm going to bring Shannon in, who was unfortunately not here last week because she was sick, but she's all better today. So she's going to reprise her role of Saskia.
I'm going to reprise.
Is that the right? What does reprise mean?
I mean, but it's like I left for a little bit and then like a long little bit and then came back.
What were the characters you did?
I mean, yeah, but
Or it also makes it sound like someone else was playing Saskia last week, which was true because I was playing Saskia for 0.5 seconds.
Yeah. So anyway, I am feeling better. I sound terrible. My voice just, I don't know what's going on with it, but it just doesn't want to do the thing. So Saskia's gonna be a little hoarse tonight, but that's okay.
A little horse.
Just a little horse, like a pony. Yeah.
Like little Sebastian?
Yes. Exactly.
Okay. I'm going to start with Arcane Spectacles. Step into Arcane Spectacles, where every roll of the dice is an adventure. Their exotic wood dice felts and hand-selected dice sets are the perfect treasure for any tabletop RPG enthusiast. And with their personalized D&D-themed Christmas ornaments, you can keep the magic of your games alive all year round. Those ornaments don't need to just stay on your tree. They can also decorate your streaming space, which mine currently are. I look at them every time I stream. They're right there. They're lovely, and they have the names. One of them has the names of all my girls, and the other one has our previous party, the Wayward Five, on there. Each ornament can be customized with your party's names, just like I just said, making it a unique and meaningful memento. So why wait? Join them at arcanespectacles.com and roll for the ultimate tabletop experience. Scroll. Next is the Underground Oracle Publishing. They are a best-selling Emmy-nominated TTRPG publisher building new and exciting settings for the cipher system of every genre that you can imagine. Each setting includes everything you need to explore its unique world, including lore, species, descriptors, foci, creatures, ciphers, artifacts, and all of the rules that you need to play. For as little as $3 per month, you can join their Patreon and help shape each of the worlds that they create. Next, we have Edward Yorke. Eddie is our beloved character artist. You saw our art on our starting soon screen, and you will soon see it on our rolling character cards. He is an illustrator based in the UK who makes art for games and books. To visit his portfolio and get in contact with him, visit eyorke.com. And last, but certainly not least, is 1985 Games. They create affordable, accessible, high-quality accessories for D&D and other TTRPGs. Sean uses their NPC cards. What about them, Sean? Do you love them?
They're cool. They got shit on the back. Help you make NPCs.
They have personality, quirks, secrets, flaws.
One more.
I know, there's 5. I always forget the 5th one.
Well, you did them out of order, but
yeah. Well, I wasn't trying to.
The 4th one that you missed, we were actually looking at the card.
Choose sides.
What am I missing?
It's goals. You forgot goals.
Goals. Are they
NPC's
smart?
got to have goals.
Are they smart
No.
goals? Oh, they're not smart goals. All right. Well, you can purchase those, and you can make smart goals for these characters, or purchase any of their other wares. And when you do, use the code ParadiceProd, ParadiceProd, for 10% off your entire order.
Mm-hmm.
That's all about our partners. Couple of misc things here. We've got recaps and VODs on our Discord. Our VODs should be up to date.
They're not. Because we're missing 2 because I have to stitch them together.
I was getting that. I was getting to that. Sean?
I got there first.
They should be up to date, with the exception of episodes 42 and 44. Those need to be stitched together by our master video worker here, also our dungeon master. So those will be up, but everything else should be up. So you can watch those, or you can read the lovely one-pager recaps that he writes. And you can join us in Paradise on Bluesky, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Discord, Instagram, and TikTok.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right. Let's do our recap. In 1 second. There we go. Last we left off, Iron and Mana gathered outside of the Commodore's office to hatch their plan to complete the bounty contract they just received for Winnifred Teague, the supposedly corrupt harbor master. While discussing their target, the harbor master, Jacquet noticed a nosy halfling hiding in the tree line of the park, listening to them. He quickly accosted the spy and began threatening his life, as Jacquet is wanting to do. The halfling trembled as the party surprisingly joined in on the shakedown, especially Septimus, who got a little dark there for a second. Upon questioning him, though, you all learned his name is Morris Pappas, the trade and gossip columnist for the Hyven Times. The little halfling insinuated that the people deserve to know about the comings and goings of adventurers. After some squabbling and a rather forceful threat of authority from Fearn, he agreed to a temporary partnership in exchange for the scoop on any Iron and Mana stories. He also shared that he'd seen Winnifred Teague hanging out in the Widow's Ward, particularly the north side at night. He surmised that there's no other explanation than that she's having some sort of sordid affair, although you all believe it's likely has to do with her business. With this information, the party finished their plan. Fearn and Jacquet would scope out the docks for information on Winnifred, and then wait for the docks to close down in order to tail her into the evening. Bruce and Septimus would size up her offices for anything unusual, and then rendezvous with the team at the Otter Business, where Winnifred is known to have a drink after work. Saskia, before they had hatched this plan, had rushed off to decompress at the docks because she had been a little bit afraid of a few things that the Commodore had said. Nevertheless, the rest of the party departed for the docks. Bruce and Septimus, using Detect Magic and Tremor Sense, discovered where the safe was held within her office that Jacquet believed her books would be, that include all of her affairs. They also discerned what kind of magic protects it. First, there is a dummy safe with the real one hidden in a compartment underneath it. Second, it is protected by abjuration and evocation magic of some sort. While discovering this, Septimus caught what appeared to be a dock worker eyeing him. He later discerned this was more of an undercover security guard for Winnifred. Bruce and Septimus got out of there with their info before calling any more attention to themselves. Jacquet and Bruce kept an eye out while waiting for the end of the day. I'm sorry, Jacquet and Fearn. That's a mistake. Jacquet disguised himself as a dock worker, well, not any dock worker, one of the actual wharf masters that works for Winnifred, and scoped out two suspicious vessels that he is one of them he's already known before, called the Aboleth, a vessel he had observed prior for a job with the De Leon brothers, and the Coral, a new vessel, both of which seeming to be not above board with their business. Fearn secured a job on the docks and worked all day earning coppers. Eventually, the night came, and with it, security. Several guards took point on the docks as Winnifred left for the evening. The party tailed her to the Otter Business, where Jacquet made a show of bumping into her. She expressed distrust, but that seemed to melt as he went about playing cards, almost as if he's uninterested in her. Fearn bought her a drink and went to find the Fight Night bookie, Docker. Much to his joy, he found that Fight Night was having a soft relaunch tonight, and the bookie spotted him for the entry fee and sent his crier to rouse up a foe for Fearn. Meanwhile, as the audience began to crowd in for the return of White Eye, the champion, the bartender slipped Winnifred something, and she got up to leave. Bruce and Septimus tailed her using Lollyrock, Bruce's homunculus bird. Jacquette joined them and split off into an alleyway. Eventually, they found her entering an old abandoned apartment building in the semi-abandoned north side of the Widow's Ward, underneath the tall basalt cliffs of the Lighthouse District. Back in the business, Fearn met his opponent, a man known as the Rat, or as Jacquette knows him, Pitch. We left off with a fight night about to start and a rendezvous in the streets. But we need to bring one of our other companions into the show. Saskia, you find yourself having returned to the Cask and Crow from your little afternoon by the beach, where you most likely were just sort of putting your feet in the sand and feeling the waters, decompressing.
Mm-hmm.
To find none of your friends there for dinner. As Kana let you know, gave you a note that they left behind saying they were enacting a plan at the outer business.
Oh. Okay. And they didn't tell me about it? That's cool. That's cool. Right. Well, thank you, Kana. I guess I'll just,
She's already walked away.
Oh. Thanks!
She shouts back, "Tell your friend Bruce he's got a package!"
Okay. I will. Bye!
That's a little forward.
Oh,
Okay.
God. So you're in a mood tonight.
Oh. I just got it. Okay. I will start shuffling on over to the outer business.
When you arrive, the Widow's Ward looks nothing like it's looked for the last month. There are people in a line outside of the of the outer business, unlike other nights where it's been dead since the governor's arrival. It looks much more akin to when you first arrived here in Hyven. As you can hear loud music from the bar and plenty of people compared to what you've seen recently. You can get in easy enough. They recognize you. There's minimal comments about your pig chase, but they do recognize you when you get up there. Sea Hog, that's right. That's right. I would say Oburn, the half-orc guard or a bouncer, does give a little chuckle upon your arrival and does say, "I haven't seen you in a while, Sea Hog."
I actually prefer Sea Witch. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's not how nicknames work.
Yeah,
Go ahead inside. Your friend, White Eye, preparing for a fight.
Oh, is fight night back? Oh, he'll be so excited.
Well, head on in.
Okay, thank you.
Fearn, what are you doing right now?
It depends on what time it is. Am I in the fight already, or am I still?
You are not yet in the fight. The fight was going to start in probably like 10 or 15 minutes. You're in the stage right before the fight.
So I imagine I just got out of the fighters' quarters, like
Yeah.
the warm up, new
The green room
installation, that they added to the bar. So I'm making my general entrance, just like showing off to people, waving and like laughing with a group of people that I just met. And I look over and I see Saskia enter, and I'm like waving her to come over quickly.
Yeah, Saskia, you have to push through a crowd. And thank God Fearn is so tall. Otherwise, you don't even think you would have made eye contact with him.
Fuck. Fearn, this is a lot of people. Did you tell people you were fighting tonight?
No, actually, I just came in and it got like this. I mean, I guess a lot of people, wanted to see my comeback after the tournament last time.
I was gonna say, your reputation precedes you.
I know, I'm kind of getting excited.
As you should. You've been looking forward to this for a while.
See a drunk guy stumbles over and spills his beer on you, Saskia, as he puts his arm around, tries to put his arm around Fearn, but Fearn's too big for him. And he's just kind of hanging off of him. He's just like, "Fear, White Eye, Oh, I'm so excited to see you fly. I heard a rumor that you were working at the docks.
All right. Give him
I
some
was
fucking
working at the
space.
docks.
Give him some space. Fuck off. Jesus, and watch where you're fucking going to.
Seahawk, you're back too. This is the best.
Sea Witch. It's Sea Witch.
Oh, the
Please,
best.
Sea
Oh, my
Witch.
favorite to hear.
I kind of just like pick him up and like push him off a different direction.
Yeah, you see he kind of like takes a few steps and is like confused and does a little twirl and wanders off to his friends.
Okay, that guy was clearly a buzzkill, but he does have a point. We are back.
It's exciting. So I got a note. It's the Casking Crow that you guys had a plan. Are you part? Is this part of the plan? What's going on? What's my part? What do I do?
I forgot about the plan. I got all caught up. The bookie was so excited to see me. Shit. Oh. Well, I think I look over at the bar where our quandary was
Winnifred.
waiting. Winnifred, thank you. It looks like Winnifred's gone, so that means our friends probably followed her. I was getting ready for my fight. I didn't really see which way they went.
Okay. Well, so there was a plan. But you forgot about the plan, but there was a plan. So, do you remember what the plan was and what I'm supposed to do?
Okay, we didn't really factor you into the plan, but we did find out. I mean,
Why?
you were busy. You weren't
Why?
around for the plan. That's kind of how it works.
So you just fucking left me out of it? That's fucking hurts. Fear?
To be fair, I didn't make the plan.
I did that, but oh.
Is there a baby in the otter business? Child services is coming in.
So, Sea Witch, it's gonna be all right. Look, here's
what the
here's
fuck am
the
I
deal.
supposed to do? Why
I'll
didn't
tell you
include
right
me in
now.
the plan? Why did you stick up for me, Fear? What the fuck? I thought we had something. I thought we were fucking friends. I'm gonna go get a drink. Good fucking luck. Bye.
Wait. Okay, Fear scratches his head and he's like, "Oh, I fucked that one up." Whatever. Let's just get this going.
Okay. Saskia, if you would like to grab a drink, the cheapest one is a copper as per usual. As you get some sour beer. And you settle into a spot as you can see the bookie getting ready to start the announcements for the fight. But before we get into that actual fight, we'll jump on over several blocks north of here to the north side of Widow's Ward. The streets are dead quiet up here, save for the echoes of the party down the road at the Otter business that is, for the most part, vanished, other than the faintest of music and cheers. As you hear one kind of uproarious cheer, as if in your minds you're thinking, the fight's starting soon. But Bruce and Septimus, you find yourselves kind of hugging close to some of the old abandoned buildings. Now, again, people live here. This is not a entirely dead ruin. There are squatters who, like I said last week, have probably squatted in what at one point were very expensive apartments when this was a full district before the Great Storm had ripped it apart. So you do see a few lights on in some of the windows. It seems as though the squatters prefer the upper floors of these buildings, as all the ground level areas are dark. Some of them with broken open doors and shattered windows, others boarded up. All with sort of these old broken like fences along the sidewalks. The road, kind of the stone of it coming up. No carriage would comfortably be able to go up this road. But it's all quite simple. One main road with some slight alleyways that go into two layers of houses. You are a couple blocks away from Winnifred. You still have eyes on her. Septimus, you can still see her. Bruce, Lollyrock is ahead. Now, is there any particular place you want Lollyrock to be hiding right now? I'll say for the sake of everything, Winnifred's roughly 2 blocks ahead of you. So you can think that she's probably like 200 feet ahead.
Yeah.
And Lollyrock would be 100 feet from her.
Perfect. Yeah. So Bruce and Lollyrock can only be 120 feet apart, I believe. So at least for Bruce's visual
Eyes.
connection. So I just imagined Lollyrock to be like at a 45-degree angle as like the highest point from Bruce, so that he can get vision, or it can get vision of Winnifred.
Absolutely. I imagine Lollyrock is sort of flying from each side of the street to different balconies or hanging pieces or old signs that keep some 45-degree angle on her.
Yeah, perfect. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, and I imagine anytime she looks back, Lollyrock tries to find a place to nestle and conceal himself. So Bruce is blind, with Septimus guiding him. Septimus, you are human friend. Do not have dark vision, right?
No.
It is very hard for you to keep track of Winnifred right now. It's almost like you have to guide Bruce, but Bruce also kind of has to guide you a little bit too.
Yeah, I'm picturing it more as like he knows where her position is, and he's gonna like walk in a certain direction. But like if there's something like he's gonna bump into, I'm kind of like just moving him to the side, and like in the near vicinity. If I can't like keep my eyes on her, I'm just gonna focus on making sure we don't bump her into anything.
Yeah, Bruce is kind of giving directions to Septimus also. So, Bruce, like, if she's like, oh yeah, she's gonna turn left and that the second house down, Bruce is able to relay that.
I will say, I have done a weather generator and it is a clear night, so it's not completely dark to the point where Septimus, you're completely blind. But if she were to dip into an alleyway, you would require Bruce to help you find that alleyway.
Thanks, Illyvania.
It is. It really would be the moon of Illyvania preparing for the long dark, creating that near creepy eye in the sky as the gas giant Vero begins to take its position in the sky. Jacquet.
Just to clarify, in other areas of the city, there's these electrical like light posts. There's nothing of the sort here, correct?
Nothing of the sort here.
Or are there light posts that are just not working?
Actually, that's actually probably
it's no longer on the grid.
It is. Okay. It would be that there are light posts that are completely either destroyed or just simply not on.
Cool.
That's a good clarification. Yes, but this place is definitely not on any kind of grid, and there are, even if they were not electrically powered, there's no one coming to light anything. Jacquet, though, you are directly parallel to Winnifred. Is there anything you'd like to do particularly, or are you just keeping an eye on her next move?
Just keeping an eye on her next move.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So she had stopped because it seemed as though she was paranoid of someone following her. So after a few moments, she does seem to no longer be looking up and down the street. She is fiddling with whatever she was given by the bartender outside of this building, as she then would slowly start to head up the road again. Now, I don't recall what your stealth checks were last week, but if you'd like to make new ones now, you can, to keep moving forward with her.
If I could keep mine.
Do you have it? What it was? Oh, you guys are rolling, so you should have yours.
It was a 14.
Yeah, you guys are rolling on D&D Beyond, so you should have yours still. Yeah, you can keep the 14.
Cool.
Jacquet?
I'll stick with my 26.
No problem. And
Mine
if you want to
was
find yours,
16.
would you like to keep with the 16?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a 14. You know what? I actually did write them down. Actually, if I go back literally one page. Okay. Jacquette, since you are keeping up with her, you see that you are approaching and you're actually up parallel with her. You're approaching the actual end of the north side road. It leads towards a large cul-de-sac that has half of it has collapsed into the sea below on the side of the cliffs. The other half hugs up against the basalt cliffs of the Lighthouse District, and she very quickly darts into an alleyway. You see the alleyway she goes in because you are up with her, but it does seem like I wouldn't say extremely panicked dart, but clearly a paranoid dart. She believes she's being followed right now, seemingly by her behavior.
Right.
Bruce, you can give me a perception check for Lollyrock to see if you see her dart into this alleyway and which one.
There will be a 19.
Okay. Lollyrock is able to keep track of her. Lollyrock actually flies and lands like at the edge of that alleyway so that you know where it is. For you, Septimus, she's disappeared for you.
Yeah.
But Jacquette, you see which alley she goes into. And it's basically right at the point where it opens up into this cul-de-sac, as if she's going into the back alley of the side that hasn't collapsed into the road. Because basically everything off of the main road is basically one long back alley behind one set of buildings with another set on the other side.
Okay. Can I enter the alley, or can I enter one alley back from her? So basically, like across the street, go, backtrack a little, go back, and then get into the alley behind, and like kind of do it quickly, like with some feline agility, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say with your feline agility and your rogue skills, you can dip back, go through, dart across the street, and be one building in so that you can see where she is going. Because it's just another sub road, so you can actually see her on that road when you're there. So Jacquette, you dart into this dark alley and you can see her rushing now up ahead. Not running, but she's briskly walking.
Right.
Trying to get to whatever building she's going to. And you can follow behind and keep up easily.
Yep.
Bruce, through Lollyrock, you see that she's briskly walking now up there. And that if you and Septimus don't pick up your pace, you'll lose connection with Lollyrock if Lollyrock tries to keep up with her.
All right, Septimus, we gotta. Yeah, she's starting to move.
All right, just keep telling me where to go. It's a little hard for me to see.
I think it's looks like it's 4 houses down, and then we got to turn right down the alleyway, and I think we're good from there.
Jacques, you have your hand up.
Can you see it all?
I can see it, but like in the near vicinity. But I'm just saying, like, just give me a heads up of like where to turn and stuff.
So just to orient myself and spatially envision all this. So we're traveling. This is North Side Street or North Side Road. So I assume it goes north south.
Yep.
And then which side is the east side is up against the basalt cliffs?
Correct.
And so that's where she went from the north side east into this back alley. And so basically there's the streets, there's the street, row of buildings, back alley, and then is it like buildings up against the cliff?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. And then she's heading towards the end that has started to collapse into the sea, or is that?
No, correct. Yes, that's exactly right.
Perfect. Cool.
So, Bruce, I would like another perception check for Lollyrock. Jacquette, no perception check needed since you're keeping up with her. You can see that she literally goes inside of the last building before it turns into complete ruins.
18.
18? Okay. Lollyrock is able to just catch her go into this building as she slips in through the doors. As Bruce and Septimus, you are at like the end of the you're at the alleyway where she slipped in, and then she's that goes about 100 feet into the cul-de-sac before that last building. Jacquette.
She goes into a building.
Yes. She goes in. Sorry, not 100 feet, about like 150 feet in, and just Lollyrock is able to be 100 feet in so that he can see her. Jacquette.
Is she entering against the basalt cliff or
Yes.
in the? Okay, cool.
Against the basalt cliff, yes.
If Bruce is relaying what he's saying to me,
Yes.
I would just probably advise, like, maybe let's get a little closer to that building she went into. Pull back Lollyrock and use your tremor sense. See if she goes into any hidden passages. We'll try to stay as close as we can. How far does it go again?
So it's about 150 feet in, where the house is, on like a rounded cul-de-sac.
I meant as far as what's the radius of his tremor sense?
Oh, good question.
30 feet.
Okay. So we'd have to like be on the outside of the.
You'd have to be right on the building to get a full glimpse of.
I mean, like if she went inside the building, then maybe we might as well risk it.
Yeah.
Right. Just stick to the shadows. I can't see where we're going.
So, just for a description of the building for everyone, it is a tall brick apartment building that is 3 stories. Based on the front, it looks as though there's a door in the middle of it, and then on the left and right, going all the way up the 3 stories, are apartments. And it looks like it goes. It's just one apartment deep. So there's probably there's 6 apartments within there, with a central stairway that goes up. That is just a regular kind of zigzagged stairway up. Based on the exterior, at least, that's what it looks like. No signs of squatters inside right now from the exterior.
So it looks empty. There's no lights inside.
All dark. A few of the windows are mostly boarded up for this one, but the front door is off its hinge. And there's kind of broken glass outside and detritus all over the place. It looks as if no one really comes here at all, save perhaps for nefarious purposes.
And she went through the front door?
Correct. And she rushed in, thinking that
Right.
someone might catch her along the road if she didn't rush in. So she's on edge for sure.
Jacquette is going to try to get up to the building and then listen to see if he can tell if she's on the first floor, second, third, and maybe which side of the building she's on.
Okay, and you had a 26 for your stealth, right?
Yes.
All right, Jacquette, you kind of find yourself standing at the base of the building, listening in. Go ahead and give me that perception check. Bruce and Septimus, you are approaching the building. You don't see Jacquette because of his stealth, but you surmise that he's likely nearby, hidden. What was that perception check?
30-20, and this is purely for hearing.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can definitely hear, with a dirty 20 for sure, you can hear her footsteps. She is going up to the 3rd floor.
Are there any fire escape ladders? Do they adhere to fire code? Is there fire code in Hyven? That's something I should really work on. Make the people safe.
So this is the interesting thing, is that you despite the lawlessness of Hyven for the most part, they do relatively try to keep some things safe, especially in certain districts. So the Admiralty Court is up to code, no matter what code. It's all safe. There's fire exits. The Widow's Ward, shockingly, was a much nicer district a year ago. Not even that long ago. And the buildings do have things like fire escapes in them. Especially in this north side. Despite the fact that it was nearly completely destroyed during the storm, this was meant to be a place where maybe not Admiralty Court level nice, but nice nonetheless. So you would see that there is kind of on the, I'll say the right side of the building and the left side for both levels of apartments, there is a fire escape area, a walk up.
All right. Gonna try to scale up that with my innate climbing speed.
Man, he's such a perfect little rogue, this guy.
Just pull it,
Yeah. Our tech boys outside. You get to the exterior. Jacquette, are you looking to connect with them at all, or just go right for it?
No, go right for it. Jacquette knows that they'll do what they need to do, and he'll do what he needs to do.
Okay. All right, tech boys. You get there to the bottom. You will only really be able to use your tremor sense for one side at a time, unless you want to go in the middle, and you would just get a little bit of each apartment. What would you like to do?
So Bruce is gonna position Lollyrock in a try to see if he can get like any vantage point from any like window or somewhere else that might be a good observant point, and then he's gonna switch lenses back. All right, should I just check this building first, or
I'll follow you.
all right, I guess one at a time.
Okay.
So
what would you like to do? Where would you like to check first? On the left or right side?
Left side.
Left side. Okay. And would you like to do it from outside or from the stairway leading up so you can get each floor? You're not sure where she is, though, so you...
Yeah, so in that case, Bruce is going to do his best to get up the little stairway. And
okay.
Do a little perception.
So for everybody, I'm going to need new stealth checks because this is no longer about tracking her outside. This is about moving within the building.
Oh,
new stealth checks. No. I guess, Septimus, what would you want to do? Would you follow Bruce in, or would you wait for him to come back with information?
I would want to wait outside. I didn't think we were going into the building. I thought we were just kind of like going to just on the outside.
So I guess, Bruce, would you like to... You could do the exterior fire escape and go up that side to check the left, or you can go in the middle where there's just the regular stairs of the building. Jacques, what was your stealth check?
I rolled a 29, but just to clarify, I didn't roll with advantage because I assumed it's audio.
Yes, correct. Yes.
I think it'd be best if I just kind of stayed outside and didn't make any noise.
All right, so then if you're checking out the left side of the building, then you'll be on the left side fire escape. But still give me that stealth check. I imagine, Septimus, you're just at the bottom of the fire escape waiting for Bruce to get some kind of symbol.
I'm gonna eat a piece of candy at this point. Just give myself advantage on dexterity checks.
Fair enough.
Oh, not bad at all.
What'd you get?
16.
Ooh.
Don't you have advantage?
It cancels out my disadvantage.
Oh, right. I forgot.
I gotta take my armor off.
Strip boy.
All right. So, Bruce, you begin to ascend this fire escape. And you are using your tremor sense looking into these apartments, and where you can find it's similar to outside. There is furniture inside that is all kind of like beat up and abandoned. Through some of the walls, you can see that the entire apartments are like boarded up. Even the doors between rooms are boarded up. Some of them have smashed open entrances, so like there's areas you can definitely get in from the side. But as you keep ascending, you don't see any activity on the left side at all. You don't see anyone waiting. You don't see Winnifred. You might see a few rats moving around, and some bugs in the walls. But this side seems to be fully abandoned.
As I'm like walking away from Septimus, going up these stairs, there will be no discerning point where like Bruce's voice differs, because Bruce is going to be messaging Septimus the entire time he's walking up and relaying that information. This side looks completely abandoned. Should I go around to the middle? Also, do you think it's a good idea if you detect magic just to make sure they don't have any traps or magical traps?
Suppose it can't hurt. There wasn't a fire escape on the other side, or we didn't?
There was. There's one on each side.
Was? Oh, okay.
So you don't have to go up the middle. You could go to the other side.
When you say go up the middle, you mean go into the building?
Yes. So you have exterior fire escapes on left and right, and then the middle is basically what you imagine of a zigzag staircase that leads up to each side. Because it's only one apartment on each side, so 6 apartments total. So there's not like a long hallway of apartments. It's just you go up, you're on the second floor, there's 2 doors. You go up to the 3rd floor, there's 2 doors that lead into the different apartments.
Gotcha. Come back down while I ready it.
Okay, so are you going to cast it or a ritual?
I will cast it.
Okay. So it goes up right away. It's a 30-foot radius, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And are you going to the middle or the other side?
Other side? Should we go to the other side?
Yeah, let's go to the other
side.
Yeah, let's go to the other side.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. As you pass the other side to the other side, I imagine you sneak across the front of the building. Within 30 feet of you, though, when you sneak across the building, up the 5 steps that leads to the front door, there is very clearly a abjuration little tiny light that goes across the front door like an alarm spell.
Okay. I'll relay that. It's a good call. I could see there's something right on the front door there. My guess would be to notify anybody that comes.
Do we know where Jack White is? Speaking of that.
No, but I trust his stealth, and I feel like if he set that off, the magic would be looking different.
All right.
Speaking of Jacquet, we'll check in with you now. So you are ascending these stairs, and I imagine you're at each of the levels you're listening in. I mean, you heard her going all the way to the top.
Right, yeah. So I think he would just make it up to the 3rd floor, and try to get a sense, if there's any windows that he can peer through or anything like that, or if he can just listen outside. Yeah.
So when you get up to the 3rd floor of the fire escape, you do see that there's a door there that leads into the apartment. And there is a window that has been mostly boarded up. The glass is shattered, but definitely boarded up to the point where you could peek in through the cracks if you wish.
I think he'll just lean in to listen through the cracks.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check for listening in on there.
22.
22. Okay. You can definitely hear the footsteps of Winnifred, and you can hear the creaking of the floorboards in there. This is old, abandoned. It's hard for her to keep herself stealth in there. She's not even necessarily particularly good at stealth herself. She might be a criminal, but she's no rogue. So you just hear very slow, steady steps. An echo through the whole place. It's actually as Bruce, you begin to ascend the steps of the Firescape that you can maybe pick up a few of these sounds too. And actually, you can even pick up more so the reverberations of them through the building, as the sort of just the wood is creaking and scratching. You can just sort of see just sort of the echoes of the steps. But Jacquette, you'll hear more before Bruce gets up to you, since he spent all that time on the other side. You would hear the faintest whispers from Winnifred. Hello? Anybody here? We have to be quick. You're here. You was followed, I think. Show yourself. You're here. There's no response to her. And it's at that point, Jacques, you hear her kind of like no longer, she rushes at this point. You see she starts to move through the apartment. What you hear is that she's not in the room you're listening in. She's just in the general apartment, moving around. You heard that as if it came from like the front door of the apartment. And this really being like literally like a 3-room apartment. Like a main area and then a kitchen and then 1 bedroom. And small at that. And even like that 1 bedroom being like where everyone has to sleep in the house. As she seems to be rushing to that, to not the room you're listening in on, but the next room over in it. So if we're just to give like a rough layout based on how she's running around, you got closest to the door, 1 big living room, and then the other half of the apartment is 2 rooms splitting the width.
Okay.
And she's in the one opposite on the other side of the apartment from where you're listening from. And she just seems to be rushing, and like you can hear her quickly moving through stuff. As you would also then suddenly hear like scratching of metal on metal. Someone nervous trying to work a key in a lock.
Right.
It's at that point, Bruce, that you would start to be ascending to the point where you would see Jacquette's paws in your tremor sense at the top. Listening in on the doorway. Septimus, do you follow Bruce up?
No.
Okay,
I'll
so you're
stay
still at the bottom. Okay, cool. So, Bruce, now that you know that Jacquette is on this side as well, and you can notice the quick pressures of her footsteps coming from the 3rd floor, what would you like to do?
Jacquette's gonna get a sudden voice in his head. Hey, what'd you find?
I want to see. Okay. You hear a squeak as he jumps a little, and he goes, back in your head. Bruce, a little warning would be nice. Feels very invasive when you do that. Winifred
How could I give warning?
I don't know. Winifred is up here on the 3rd floor across from me. It sounds like whoever she was supposed to meet did not show, and she's trying to open a door. Or a lock.
Bruce is just going to be a middleman and now just message Septimus that same information.
Excellent. All right, so Septimus, you would hear that exactly what Jacquette just said, except relayed through Bruce's voice. So like, yeah, he's looking for a door, I think. Whatever, however Bruce would say it.
Seems pretty spot on to me.
You know what, Sean? Just play my character.
I'm just gonna play everyone tonight. So Septimus, any changes or still holding in place?
Still holding in place, but I'll just respond back. All right, well, let me know if she makes way for the door to leave quickly.
Let us know if she makes way so that Septimus can get to the door quickly.
Well, no.
Hey.
Like you said, middleman. So Jacquette, are you just going to continue listening or make another move? Okay.
Well, just real quick, assessing this door that I'm next to or near. It enters into the living room, we'll call it.
Kitchen. I'll say,
Okay.
yeah, you can definitely see at least a little bit in through the window to see that there's like an old iron stove there. And
So like you said, the front of the building, so closest to where Septimus is where that living room would be.
Correct.
And then there's the kitchen, and then away from it is the bedroom.
Correct.
Okay. Just assessing that door. How is it looking? Is it all boarded up? Does it look like?
So from the exterior, it definitely looks like it is. It's certainly seen better days. There are some cracks in it. It's not whole. You can even see through those cracks that this door is boarded up from the inside.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna keep listening then.
Okay. So as you're listening, you can hear with that 22 from before, she's scratching at something metal with the key, and she does finally get it in to the lock, and you can actually hear the relief in her panting. She opens it up, and you can hear it's not a door. It doesn't sound like a door to you. It sounds like a lockbox that she's opened up.
Okay.
And you can hear with the 22 for sure, she's flipping through pages of something. She's definitely acquired something that was left here for her. Might be the situation where if there's a person here, there's a person here for her to meet. If there's not, there's a package for her, is the sort of deal. You hear, though, a lot of creaking at this point through the apartment. Like, it was creepy before, with just sort of the quiet little creaks and the sounds of rats skittering across or in the walls. But now the whole place sounds like it's as if like wind was whipping through it, but it's not particularly windy night. Bruce, you would also sense just a little bit of this. The whole place is vibrating now, just very subtly. Like so subtly, if you weren't sitting here in the dark of night with no other noises, you wouldn't notice it.
Hey, Septimus, is that up there? Is there any magic up there?
Septimus, you'd have to climb to here and see if there's any magic up there. You'd have to get to where Bruce is, which is not all the way up, but is mostly up.
Responding back, up where specifically? What do you suspect?
The apartment that she's in. It's like it's like vibrating. Just a slight bit. I might be just saying things though. You could do it.
No, I'll wait here for a little longer. Let me know. I'll stay here unless you guys are gonna go in. Then I'll detect for you.
All right.
Jacquette is gonna crouch down and then tap on I assume it's a metal grate, or like it's metal, the fire escape. You're just gonna tap very lightly on the bar at his feet to try to get Bruce's attention.
What?
Did you hear that groaning and creaking? Is there someone else inside?
Oh, okay. So you saw that too.
Heard it.
I don't see anybody else inside. No.
It sounds like she's got what she needs and flipping through something. Should we make a move?
If you feel comfortable with that, then I think so. I just worry whatever that is.
Bruce, the vibrations are moving throughout the whole place, but they are now concentrating on the room she's in, as if it's almost like a wave going towards her room.
Oh, the wave, the concentration. Oh gosh. Okay.
Certainly magic to you now, without Septimus even doing anything.
There's magic now surrounding her.
right.
Septimus, I'm pretty sure there's magic surrounding her now. I think Jacquette's gonna make a move. So,
And like you can visually see it, Bruce, but Jacquet, with that 22 will carry it over. You can like feel the weight of it, almost like a gravity has moved towards the back room.
All right, you feel Jacquet tense up. You can like basically see how like you can almost see it through his paws. Like he shifts and he's like readjusting his grip on his scepter, doorway scepter, but he doesn't do anything quite yet as he waits to hear what the DM has to say.
Also, hey, Jacquet, and let me know also if you're in danger. Blow the horn. I'll get you out of there.
You just hear, "You got it."
So you are
and also simultaneously, if he
yes.
tells me that it's magic and that Jacquet's making a move, then I'll try to climb.
You'll start to climb?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Stealthily.
Stealth, of course.
Of course. Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
5.
The two of you can hear Septimus climbing the steps of the fire escape. I'm not going to say that it's like you're not like clambering up it. It's just there's anyone who would be listening would be able to hear the footsteps, unless they really royally fucked their perception check. So you two can hear him starting to rise up the steps.
You just hear a hiss of frustration from above you, Bruce, but otherwise nothing else from Jacquet.
Jacquet, as you listen in for just a few more moments before making a move, she reacts to this. She can feel it now. It's no longer just you all identifying it. As she, very quickly, you can hear her standing up. You can hear her closing the lockbox and quickly putting it away. As you can hear her shoving papers or a book of some kind into her jacket, as that creaking all comes to the room she's in. As she looks around, or you hear her kind of moving around panically. I knew you were here. I knew you were here. Show yourself. Show yourself now. Why hide? Why hide? As that creaking sort of stops all at once. And Bruce, you can just sort of see the sort of all of that vibration kind of comes together into one entity. But you don't see any footprints. It's just a vibration, an essence, an aura almost that is affecting in a tremor way in this space. And since where you are, you're just seeing like basically the floor of the apartment.
Sean, in this, can I sense if there's any like windows around there or in the perimeter of that area where that?
Yeah. So I mean, you'd be able to get up, even if you just went up like a couple steps on the fire escape, you would be able to sense like the bottoms of windows. There are windows throughout. A lot of them are boarded up. The one that is like on the level of the fire escape is boarded up. The one that Jacquet's has his ear to. But there are other windows. It's just they're not immediately accessible from the fire escape.
Can I go back to Lollyrock's vision and see if I can fly Lollyrock around and just get a quick glimpse?
Yeah, I mean, just even quickly, Lollyrock can certainly see where there's windows with actual openings. Certainly not ones that you all would be easily able to get to. You'd have to do some climbing and probably have to use some ropes and stuff. But certainly ones that have, I'd say, large enough openings for Lollyrock to fit in if you wanted.
Okay, so like you can't see. So from where the essence that Bruce is detecting with his tremor sense is too deep in.
No, there's a window. There is a window to that room.
Okay. Could I have Lollyrock fly around and just see if he can get a quick glance?
Glance.
Glance.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
no rolls necessary. Is if Lollyrock is looking into that window, all Lollyrock can see is the absolute pitchiest darkness you've ever seen. Certainly magical darkness.
All right. And then after that, Bruce is just gonna go back to his normal vision or tremor sense vision.
And as you see that magical darkness, Jacquette, you can hear inside a voice speaking to her that is not her voice. Winnifred, Winnifred, Winnifred. Why in such a rush? Were you followed? Did somebody sneak up on you? She, with a trembling voice, was like, the darkness isn't necessary. We could speak like adults. I don't think so, Winnifred. You have not been living up to your expectations. The De Leon brothers still operate through your docks. We've even heard that you had dealings with the heroes at one point. Tell me, Winnifred, do you even believe in Mr. Greaves anymore? From there, you just sort of hear this stuttering silence from her. Do you wish to just continue listening?
Yes, please.
Okay.
You can read the whole thing. It's okay.
He said heroes. I wonder who he could be talking about.
Imagine set.
Definitely, yeah, certainly some, yeah, anybody else. Certainly not the state-sponsored heroes of Hyven. You have to understand, things have changed so quickly in Hyven. I can't keep up. You need to give me more. Is it really my fault that De Leon brothers spit in his face? Is it really my fault that the heroes wander around asking whatever fucking questions they want when he won't even show his You hear the sound of something clasp at her throat. He doesn't want excuses, Winnifred. Manage your docks. Hold your ships accountable. Repudiate the heroes. Or we will. And we'll find a new harbor master. Great change may be coming, but we cannot endure those who will not adapt. Do I make myself clear, Winnifred? And you hear the sounds of a hand releasing her throat. Crystal, what would he expect of me?
you have your brutes. It has been too long that the De Leon brothers' contacts have found safe harbor in Ivan. It would be a shame, a real shame, if a guard were to find himself asleep one night. Leave the rest to us. As for the heroes, first of all, fire the tiefling, you absolute imbecile. Or keep him around, only if you're bold enough to smartly use him. As for the cat and the girl,
Under his breath, no one hears it, but you just hear Tabaxi.
again, use them if you can. And please inform your personnel to keep an eye out for a man with a robotic arm and a damned kobold wandering your docks. I should not know what you do not in this moment, Winnifred. This is your last chance. It would be a shame to see how you hang from a rope.
And you just hear the stifled sort of whimpers of Winnifred at that point. A woman who, ostensibly, when you first met her, was a beacon of strength in the way that she kept herself, reduced to absolute fear. And she continues to whimper before the voice sort of says, "It's goodbye."
And remember, dear Winnifred, always believe Mr. Greaves.
As there would just sort of be this shudder through the house. And it's almost as if, like, the sounds of crickets return to the night as this entity leaves.
Were you saying always believe, Mr.
Yes.
Greaves?
Always believe in Mr. Greaves. As the house shudders, and you just hear the panicked breathing of Winnifred inside. Is there anything you'd like to do, or you simply like to wait till she leaves?
You haven't moved in a while. What'd you find out, Jacquet?
I don't know if you can necessarily sense this from your tremor sense, but Jacquet's hairs are on end as he whispers back through the message cantrip. Whatever that arcane energy was, coalesced into some entity that spoke with Winnifred, an agent of Mr. Greaves. It's upset with her. Says she needs to shape up or they'll replace her. They want to, I didn't quite follow, but they seem to want to use her guards. I'll tell you more later, but I think I need to speak with her. If there was ever a time to strike, not violently, it's now.
All right. Sean, did even though Septimus failed his stealth check, was he still in range to see what type of magic that was?
I would say that Septimus, you like I imagine there's a point when you were rising the steps that you kind of like froze because you could feel yourself not stealthing properly.
Yeah. No, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I will say, upon the entity's exit, as it just sort of shuddered through the whole house, you would have gotten at least a glimpse at the magic of the entity. Or whatever force was going through the house in that moment. And it reeked of evocation magic. Not necessarily in the way that like someone unpracticed in magic would hear evocation and think just, fireballs and magic missiles, but it just had the essence of evocation. Doesn't necessarily mean that it was an assault upon anything like most people think with evocation.
Got it. Interesting.
But the entity did seem to like your sense of it was this rapid movement out of the house that vanished into the night. Faster than someone could walk normally. That for everyone else felt like a shuddering through the house. Okay, so as Jacquette, you hear Winnifred whimpering inside there, and you plot your next move. We are going to jump back to the outer business. As this creepy experience of this entity shifts to raucous audiences excited for the fight. One last thing I'll say about the last scene. Bruce, if you were still looking through Lollyrock's eyes at the end there, first of all, you actually, I don't remember if we discerned this, can you listen through Lollyrock as well?
We have not discerned this.
Okay.
So
I
can
think
decide that right now.
So I believe the last time I talked to you, I did say we'll run off of familiar rules for this.
Okay.
But the last time we did any kind of advancement on Lollyrock, we said that you found a way to connect Lollyrock to your goggle system for visuals. Mm-hmm. So I would say at this point, you would need to work on Lollyrock again to add an auditory
I need like
aspect.
Earbuds, yeah.
Exactly. You need to install a listening stone into Lollyrock.
Yeah.
But
I need a headset for my, yeah.
I will say, you would have seen, though, that upon that rapid shuddering of the building, you would have seen all of that unnatural darkness leave the space. And you would just see Winnifred in there, only lit by the very dim moonlight coming through the window. And like a very small lantern, hooded lantern that she has. Actually, you wouldn't have seen any moonlight in there. It would have just been the hooded lantern because the window is to the back of the building up against the cliffs. So you would have just seen that like suddenly a bright lantern appear out of nowhere that just sort of gives a brief silhouette of her as that darkness fled. But back in the outer business, the bards, Jacquette, did you have something?
No, I was accentuating your butt as I was also switching the music.
The bards are loudly playing. There is a raucous fiddle with a drum, with a lute playing. No singing, just sort of getting people riled up as they're passing drinks around. As Docker, the bookie, is kind of taking center stage as he looks to you, Fearn, wherever you are, and looks to the rat, wherever he is, to nod to you that it is time. As Sass, you are at the bar right now with your 2 sour beers. Feeling a little down, maybe, or maybe just, I don't know, vengeful drinking.
Yes, I am. I'm drinking and slowly feeling more and more calm as the beer takes effect.
Yeah,
and I just don't give a fuck anymore.
You do see the bartender is the dwarven fellow from the last time you were too drunk here.
It's good to see you again.
You're not going to order a bunch of shots again, right?
The fuck does it matter to you what I order? And yes, well, I mentioned it.
I don't want to clean
Roundabout.
anything up again.
Round them up. It's fine. I've learned to hold my liquor. It's fucking fine. Yes, I would like those very much, please. Thank you.
Oh, that was an offer.
Well, it fucking is now. Where are they? They should be in front of me right now.
I'm going to slowly disperse them to you.
Okay.
This is my authority here.
My
as the
friends
bartender.
hate me. They didn't,
That's
they
what you said
didn't-
last time.
No, but this time I mean it. I mean it. They don't.
You seemed more down last time. Now you seem just angry drunk.
I'm fucking pissed.
And
They
you've
made
only
a
had
plan
one of
and
those
they
beers, so you
They didn't
you
fucking
can
tell
calm
me
down.
about it. No, I will not.
All right, well, here's the first shot.
Thank you.
Let's start with the hardest first. But anyway, the band stops as the bookie takes center stage. As he looks around, and you can actually tell he's kind of looking around for Jacquette, because every time he does these announcements, Jacquette always takes it over. But he doesn't see it, and you can see sheer confidence on his face. As he takes off his top hat and sort of puts it on his chest and says, "Ladies and gentlemen of the Otter business, it is my distinct pleasure to bring back the most popular night in all of the Widow's Ward. Oh, what's near and dear to our hearts in the Widow's Ward. The excellent Fight Night has returned, and we've got quite a premiere. That's right, the champ from long before the governor's parade through town. White Eye has returned from the docks themselves, from beyond, from what I hear, all over Gwenvalier, or Aldhalor.
Let's fucking go, Fear. You got this. Yep.
Here's the hiccup across the room, but cheers join you. Against an old favorite of our crowd, you know him as the Rat. He is scratchy, he is scroungy, he has brought down some of our greatest champions with his wily ways. But give it up for the Rat. As you can see, the Rat over there kind of holds his arms up as he kind of looks to the crowd. You can see there's some people who are clearly a small group, but clearly here for the Rat. His entourage is here as well.
Fuck him up, Fear.
If our fighters would enter the ring, please. Now. As he opens up the entrance to the ring. And Fearn, you may enter with the Rat.
Cool. I do that.
And he looks around and he goes, "We have taken our bets. We have taken our bets. Last bets over there with the boy. You have about a couple minutes before we get this started. And while you're getting over there, we'll do our ceremonial beginning of the show." As you see, another person kind of rolls out this little rolly tray that has the old gramophone on it that plays the really outdated wax cartridge on it that just has sort of this as everyone cheers at the end of it. The last bets are in. Fearn, you look across the room at the Rat. His wiry body, he's wearing no shirt. He just has his old red headband around his neck for the Alumno Defiance that you know that he has worn in the past. You would have been told you had to take your plate armor off for this.
Oh, I've never had to take my armor off before.
That's because Sean didn't realize you were wearing armor in the same way. But plate armor, they're certainly going to notice and say, "You got to take that off, boss." Unless you're fighting in the death ring.
All right, hold on. Let me uncheck it from my D&D Beyond doodad. Okay, good to go, I guess.
All right, and the bookie grabs onto the microphone and shouts out, "All right, fighters, get yourselves into position, and we will start in 3, 2, 1. All right. Feared.
Yes.
Time for the fight. First check. Athletics.
Okay. Nat 20. Let's go.
Okay.
Total 28.
28. Oh gosh. Alrighty. All right, so you succeed on this athletics check against him. Actually, let me actually do this the proper way. I mean, you're still gonna succeed, but. Okay. So you succeed. What is your first move? You notice the rat kind of keeping his distance from you. What do you do to go for him in this first bout?
So my first move is a throwback to what he did on the first fight that I saw him, that he thinks that I might not have been watching from what I told him last session, but he threw some sand in his opponent's face.
That's right.
So in this one, I'm going to use my tail and I'm going to whip up some sand and try and hit it in his face in order to distract him and break through his defenses and get up close.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Just beat him up.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, he clearly was doing his kind of keeping his distance, rounding about, biding his time, trying to make sure that you couldn't get him in any kind of headlock. But then your tail whips this sand up into his face. He goes, "Ugh!" And you can charge him at that point and grab onto him and start wrestling him. All
Nice.
right. Second, give me an acrobatics check.
19. I heard him say, damn it.
No, he succeeds on this one. As he takes the hit, and you like grab him by the waist, you almost ram him into the cage on the exterior. And you see he brings his hands down and just sort of starts beating on your back as you're kind of like holding him by the waist up. He starts punching you on the back until there's a point when he hits the right mark, and then just sort of rolls off your back into the sand before he quickly gets back up and gives you a quick jab to the kidneys.
Oh, my spleen.
All right, give me a Constitution check, and then you get to add to that Constitution deck one roll of a hit dice.
Okay.
You can also replace. This is a rule I actually just saw that I didn't say before, but you can replace one of these checks with an unarmed attack roll also.
I wonder if that's better. Interesting. Okay, so technically an unarmed attack roll is better. And is it per round that I can do an unarmed attack, or is it once per the whole fight?
No, per round. So like this is the last bout of this first round. So in the next one you can also replace one of these checks with that.
Okay, I rolled the con check before.
Give you the.
Should I keep the roll or should I re-roll?
You rolled the con check. You can keep the dice roll.
Okay, so it would be a +8 for the unarmed, so that would be an 18 total, and I would add a D10.
You don't get to add. You don't get to add the hit dice for the attack roll. It's just for the con check because that's the specific check. So keep that in mind.
Okay, in that case, I'm not going to roll. I'm going to keep the con check,
okay,
which was a 15, and I'm going to roll the D10.
Okay, go for it.
For 6, that's a 21.
21. Okay, let me double check what he got. Okay, does not succeed. Actually, he got a 24 here.
Oh, what the hell?
Or the DC was a 24. I rolled almost maximum on the difficulty dice. So for this last bout, you kind of maybe you get a little angry at him breaking out of your grasp, and maybe you get a little reckless as you turn around. You started this round really on top of it, Like you were like, I know this guy. Strategy. Sand, get him in the corner, get him in my arms. He can't do anything once I've got him. But he got out of the arm grasp and now is keeping his distance as you charge towards him to try to get him again. He backs away, sort of like puts his hand to your back and pushes you down into the sand as you fall face first into it, as he has succeeded on this first round. Next round.
Let's go.
So now the attack roll can replace any of the 3 checks for a round. So if you wanted to replace like the acrobatics check with it or the athletics check with it, you could. But you can only do 1 attack roll per round.
Yep. And I can only do 1 D10 bonus.
That's only for the con check.
Only for the con check. Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So, athletics check. Before you do that, Sass, you see that the rat has won this first round. Do you have any reaction?
Fuck. Yeah. What the fuck, Fear? You're better than you're better than that. Fuck him up. Where's my next fucking shot? Come on, keep it coming.
As the crowd has gotten like, there's a big woo at the rat winning the first round because you bet your fucking ass a lot of these people bet on you, Fear. Especially as Jacquet had told a lot of people to bet on you before leaving. All right, so let's go for that athletics check.
Okay. 23.
Okay, he only got a 14. How do you start this first round?
Or
second round?
Yeah, being frustrated after being put on my back, I like smash the sand with my fist, and it like flies into the air. And I step up, and as the round starts, I try and do another cheeky move, like with my tail. I think I'm gonna try and like do a feint with my fist, and then like punch like kind of downwards, and then like also fake like a back kick by like lifting up, but then the kick doesn't even connect, and then the tail comes in afterwards. So I kind of just do like a spin move, and it's like 2 feints into the actual hit.
Totally. I'm picturing some Brad
Some
Pitt
Muay
and
Thai.
Troy stuff as you're going in, and you go for these 2 feints. Maybe he goes in for some undercut punches as he prepares to dodge something that doesn't come through. As you get that tail whip off, as you kind of like jump into the air and whip around, and it hits him right in the face, and he goes blasting back into the sand.
Does it lower his defense? That was a rat-a-tat joke.
It's super effective. All right. Second bout of round 2. You can do an acrobatics check or an attack roll.
I'm gonna do an attack roll.
Okay.
Because I already succeeded on my first thing that I would normally use the attack roll for. Ooh, 13.
13. Okay. He also got a 13. If it meets, it beats. So you just barely get this DC. So what does your sort of rough and struggle attack look like here? Where this is like a partial success. You don't quite get him, but you do have the advantage afterwards.
So I pull him in close, and I try and arm bar him and like grab one of his arms. And as I'm like holding onto it, he like grabs my tail and is like twisting it, and I'm like, ah! So we're both like struggling over like hurting each other. Like we're both getting hurt, but neither of us wants to tap out.
Excellent. I love it. And since you won the first 2 bouts of round 2, means we don't even need to go into the third one. You have won the second round, and you've got him up against the fence here, and he's got you up against the fence going into round 3 of this fight. I'm going to give you advantage on this first check because of the way that you've got him in against the bars, and you won the first 2 and didn't even have to do the third. So go ahead and give me an athletics check with advantage.
All right.
That's more fucking like it, Fear. Let's go.
DC is 22 for this.
Ooh, 23. Let's go.
All right. So you've got him in this grasp. He's grabbed your tail. He's kicking. He's squirming. He's trying to weasel rat his way out of this. What do you do? What is your first? How do you bring him back down?
So we're going blow for blow, and like I'm just taking his hits, and like he gets like 2 hits in, and I give him 1 big hit. And like it looks like I'm fine, and it looks like he's like really struggling after that. And like we keep going at it in this fashion, and he's starting to slow down. And I see that, and I say, "You're gonna need some rodentures after this one." And I headbutt him in the teeth.
You headbutt him right in the teeth, and he kind of like, it's that dazed moment. You hit him in the face, and he's kind of like standing and like leaning back, as you can just sort of see like blood starts trickling down his lip as he falls to the ground. And then he picks himself up, and he's sort of like almost in a half push-up position as he just spits a big globule of blood out with 2 teeth in it into the sand. As he looks up with this smile. Now, like the teeth that are missing have made his front 2 teeth protrude, much like a rat. As he gets
it's
up,
like the indents from my 2 horns.
Exactly.
On the forehead.
As he gets up for about 2 of round 3. So acrobatics check, or you could do the attack roll.
Okay, wait. I did the attack roll for the acrobatics check.
Last round.
Okay. Yes, that makes sense.
Yes, because you can do 1 per round.
All right. I'm gonna do the attack roll instead again, because it worked. 10. Does a 10 work?
10 does not. He got very, very good there. He got in the 20s or low 20s.
Well, that makes me feel good because I rolled a 2.
So you see somewhat of like a crazed look on his face as he spits his own teeth out and gets up from the sand. As you kind of maybe feel cocky at this point. You've won in this way, but you need to win this last round. So this last bout is going to be win or lose. As you see in that moment, he comes up and he just goes and does a feint as well. As your hand goes across his chest, he grabs your arm and pulls you. You drop to the ground, and he does he punches his microphone as he punches into your back, and then kicks you really hard before taking a few steps back, getting into his own defensive position, knowing that he's against the ropes, you're against the ropes. He is going to go for tiring you out in speed for the last round and trying to avoid you. So go ahead and give me the Constitution roll with the D10.
Here we go. Pretty good. Let's see what that D10 gives us. How about a 27, Sean?
Hell yeah, that beats his 15. How do you finish him off? How do you win this fight?
I grab him and I go for his throat, and I slam him up against the side of the cage, and I take the with my other hand. I'm lifting him up at this point with my hand, and it's just like I knock the wind out of him so he doesn't have a reaction, and I rip off his Alumno Defiance scarf and like throw it in onto the stage, and then I like grab him on the shoulders and like flip him over my back, and he just goes like almost like I'm suplexing him, and his back just hits the sand, and like there's a big puff of sand as he hits the ground, and I hold both my hands up in the air and just scream as hard as I can.
As the crowd erupts at this point, it is Fight Night is back, baby, is the entire feeling of the entire bar, as this is just the best night in a long time for most of these people who have probably worked long, hard days to come back to just drinking and mild gambling for the last month. And now they've got real entertainment back as the crowd erupts.
And as I win, I want to take a glance back up to the VIP section.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the one that at the end of every fight, I always take a glance up there, and I rarely see anybody. But I do that. Yeah, I give them the old point.
You do see that all three of the people I mentioned who came out, the Dragonborn, the Drow Woman, and the Tabaxi, are all watching very interested in this moment.
I point to them, and then I give them a little bow. And then I go back to accepting the crowd.
You see the Tabaxi laughs in the exact way Stefan just laughed, as the Drow gives you like a very polite golf clap, and the Dragonborn just walks back into the VIP section, finishing his drink. But you have succeeded in the return of Fight Night and earned yourself 100 silver pieces from the pot.
Let's go. How many silver pieces?
100 silver pieces.
Oh my god, have I ever won that much before?
No, I don't think so. But it's the return of Fight Night. They got everybody in here, and people were putting money down.
True. The place was popping.
But as you succeed, Saskia, you see this. You see Fearn coming out of the ring, people patting him on the back. Someone shoves a beer in his hand. Someone shoves a shot in his other hand. You two can come back together at the bar.
Yeah, I mean, I've collected my winnings and I put it away, and I walk up to Saskia and I give her one of the shots that was just handed to me. And I say, thanks for sticking around.
You got it, buddy. Yeah.
By the way, Saskia, your last shot was 4 copper.
4 copper?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Did Saskia have 4 copper?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm loaded, man.
All right. So as you two come back together and our other friends contemplate their next move, we're going to take a short break. All right, folks, we'll be back in 5 or so minutes. We'll see you all very shortly. Bye. Welcome back, everybody, to Adrift in Aldhalor. Our champion, Fearn, has once again claimed the title and won, and also brought back the excitement of Fight Night to the Otter business in the Widow's Ward. While our other friends investigated Winnifred and her own business, where a disembodied shadowy voice threatened her and demanded certain things on behalf of Mr. Greaves. We are going to jump back into the alleyway outside of Winnifred's location, where the entity has just vacated the premises. Septimus knows this for sure, as he saw the evocation-based magic zipping out of the building, as the rest of us felt a deep shudder move through the old bones of the apartment complex. Bruce stands in the middle of the fire escape between Septimus and Jacquette, while Jacquette listens inside at the panicked breathing of Winnifred, almost like she was holding her breath the entire time the entity was here, and now she's letting out all of the panic and fear. So, what would you all like to do?
Jacquette is going to wait for Winnifred to leave the room. And as she enters into the living room, he is going to cast Pass Wall with his doorway scepter to basically walk into the room as she enters it simultaneously.
Okay. So, as you do that, you would see she is, of course, shocked and already in a state of paranoia. So you see she drops a bunch of the papers that she is holding. They are not, really, it's actually more of a bound book. She drops that to the ground, and she sort of quickly scuffles down to grab it, but she also very quickly goes to her waist to pull out a hand crossbow. And she's like, what the fucking shit? And she sees that it's you.
Well, Winnifred. It looks like you're just getting caught up in all kinds of trouble, huh?
You can't be here real quick. You gotta get the fuck out of here.
Ant and R are two very different things, and it would appear I am here.
And on his way in,
he's going to come back.
Would have tapped on the metal bars to kind of alert the others that he was going in. So if they want to join him, they can. If not, they don't have to.
Add messaging down to Jack or Septimus. I think we can go in now if we want.
I think I might actually just stay out here, keep an eye on, see if that being or whatever, that magic, tries to make its way back.
All right. I'll have Lollyrock just hang out with you. I'll go meet Jack Wet. And Bruce is actually gonna cast Spider Climb and just start walking up the building.
Yeah, yeah.
And as a reply to that is like, if something needs to alert you, I'll speak to Lollyrock. Can you hear him? I can't remember. Or just wave.
No, I can't. Just I don't know. Pet him or something.
Yes. So shortly after you make your appearance, Jacques, you would see walking through one of the windows of the living room, where the boards are open enough for Bruce to get in. Bruce would enter to join you. And she just sort of like is holding the crossbow, and she sort of like darts it to Bruce and then back to you.
And Jacquet's got his hands up as he's like loosely clasping the doorway scepter. He's just like,
Easy, Winnifred. I don't know who that was, but you've got nothing to fear. Hey, he doesn't know we're here. Who is he, by the way?
You listening to that conversation?
Of course I was. I'm always listening. It's what I do, Winnie. Come on, you should know this. Really, I'm a little ashamed for you, actually, that you didn't, peg me back at the Otter business. Of course I was there for you. My dear, please, I need information, and I know where all the information goes, he says, pointing at her with the scepter.
You were listening in that conversation, then you know how serious this is. You know that my life is on the line.
Of course. And myself and my associate here are here to offer you a way out.
She puts the crossbow away.
That's better. Now, maybe we sit down. Are there like chairs
Yeah,
and like...
yeah. And they're all like shitty. Like Jacques might look at it like with chagrin, but yes, there are.
Yeah, he's like, maybe we sit down and discuss this,
as he's gonna mage hand and like sweep off the dust from one as he pulls it out for himself and sits down in it.
She would very tensely sit in another one of the chairs that she pulls away from an old broken table.
Does Bruce sit?
Bruce is not gonna sit. Bruce, in fact, is just going to. He's just gonna nonchalantly, like, walk past both of them and go to the exit of this. Or how did she? What's her exit here?
The front door of the apartment, which is opposite side of the room from where Jacques and her are sitting right now.
Okay. Yeah. Bruce is just gonna. Like right in front of her, just start setting up a snare trap.
And she's like nervous.
Not even. Yeah.
Yeah. She's like nervously bouncing a foot now as she looks past Jacques and goes, "What's your friend doing there? Huh?"
I have no idea. Honestly, his mind is so... I'm sure he's just preparing for the worst.
Yeah, the worst. You bring your fucking wild card with you. What do you want, Jacques?
I told you, information, but let me lead with this. Do you know how the Commodore is back in town?
Of course.
And she's here on the governor's new law and order slogan?
Yes.
Did you know that there's a new bounty list she's made up?
And you see she's hesitating to answer because she did not know that. You can surmise without an insight check she did not. Is that so?
Oh, yes. And guess who's at the bottom of the list?
And then she darts her eyes to you quickly as she can tell she's putting one and one together.
That's right, my dear. Winnifred Teague. Hargarmarsh.
Nailed it.
Harbor Master of Hyven. 1,000 gold for evidence connecting you with illicit crime. Another, did I say 1,000 gold? Silver? God damn it. 1,000 silver for evidence connecting you with crime. Another 1,000 for bringing you in alive with said evidence. That's a very easy 2,000 silver that we could be making right now.
Is that so, Jacquet? Ever wonder what's in those books?
All kinds of secrets.
So is that what you're really here for then? Take me in to the Commodore's office?
You tell me, Winnifred, because I could do that. I could take you in and get an easy 2,000 silver, but I told you once before that I'm after something bigger.
Aye, you once asked me if this town would be better off without Mr. Greaves.
He just nods at her, waiting for her to...
What do I get out of... What do I get out of helping you?
Let me put it like this. Right now, if we take you in, you'll go to jail, and inevitably, whoever that was that spoke with you, or Mr. Greaves, his syndicate, whatever the fuck that is, will find out that you're in jail. Assume that you squealed on them, and then have you killed. Or you could not go in. We pretend like none of this ever happened. You go back to the harbor. What is it? You fuck with those Leon. I don't know those players that they spoke of.
Give me a deception check.
Yeah, of course. 20.
Okay. You don't get a hint that she checks you there.
They want you to fire Fjern, which, by the way, the fact that you hired him is hilarious to me. I mean, what the fuck? Really, Winnifred? Well, fire him or use him. They want you to use me and Sass as well. To what end? I'd love to find out. And of course, you really should keep an eye out for miscreants, he says, gesturing back to Bruce, as I imagine he's like setting up his trap, looks back, and he just got like the goggles on, and it's just like that weird fucking little gremlin that is Bruce looking back at her.
I like to imagine you didn't walk over to that area, you spider crawled.
You walked along the wall.
Yeah. I got the magic going right now anyway, so might as well use it.
And it's even better that Bruce has said nothing.
Right.
He's said nothing. He's just walked in, like, Jacquet's got it, you know. Bruce didn't hear anything in the conversations. He's like,
Yeah.
I got nothing to add. I gotta just make sure she's in here.
And she looks
So-
you dead in the eyes, Jacquet. And then she just sort of shakes her head, and you can tell there's thoughts swimming in her head in every direction.
So, the way I see it, you've got two choices. We turn you in, you die, or you do something good with your life. Sorry, I don't actually understand your stance on moralities. I don't know whether you care about good, evil, whatever. I know that you want to save your own skin. Everyone does. That's what makes us... how do they put it in the academies? Alls? We're not humans, we're humanoids, whatever the fuck. So what makes us human / whatever the fantasy equivalent is of that is. You want to save your own skin. We can offer you a way to save your own skin. You help us get to Mr. Greaves, and then you can be safe again. You stay harbor master, win-win.
What do you tell your Commodore?
That we couldn't do it. The mighty heroes of Hyven have failed. Iron and Mana weren't up to the job. And we just ask for another one. Or maybe I tell her the truth. I don't know. Everywhere I go, people always tell me, don't trust anyone. You never know who Mr. Greaves could be.
What's in those papers you got over there?
It speaks.
I'm sorry.
I haven't made my decision yet. From my perspective, you're offering me 2 routes to death. You bring me in. This syndicate kills me. I help you. Syndicate finds out. Syndicate kills me. I don't see a way that you can protect me, Jacquet.
After you, there'll be someone else on the list. It's someone else. And we'll keep working on this bounty list until we've gutted Mr. Greaves' syndicate. I know there's someone to talk to. And I'll show my hand. Orkwood. Another contact. I'll make my way through her. I'll find these De Leon individuals. Work through them. I will work at every fucking angle to get at this Mr. Greaves. Do you know why?
Why?
Just fuck him. That's why. And Jacquet just gives her the most, like, obtuse, sarcastic grin that, like, you look at it and you're like, what the fuck is this guy? Like, is it sarcasm? Like, is he just, like, mad? Does he just have a death wish?
Give me a persuasion roll.
$27.
Okay. DC was 25.
Whoa.
She looks at you with comparable madness as she sort of just gives a laugh as she shakes her head and her whole body relaxes as a person giving in to their fate. Oh, well, suppose I've got a choice between 2 deaths. One's just an inch more certain.
This way, you still have some freedom at the end. At least when you go down, you won't be handcuffed in a cell.
All right. Have you ever heard about overselling something?
Yes, I get told I do it too often, but it's just, I don't know, intoxicating. When you've got someone sold, you just want to keep selling them.
I'll agree to work with you. But I can't guarantee I won't be dead in a week. Or that they won't come after you. Quicker than you might think.
At the mention of that, Jacques has that same mad grin on his face as he goes, I'm betting on it.
And she looks past Jacques to you, Bruce. And are you betting on that too, little man?
Bruce looks over at Jacques.
A whole crime syndicate coming after you?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure we covered our tracks. How will they know?
Yeah, how would they know?
And at this, like, no one notices, but there's a little twitch in Jacquet's eyes. He's like, oh, wait, he doesn't know that the Shadow Man spoke about Bruce and Septimus and everyone, and totally knows everything is going on. And he's like, how would they know?
All right, then. I'll start at least with this.
This book, as she pulls out what she picked up from the lockbox.
Contains the information of every smuggling vessel within the port.
The aboleth, Coral's Coral,
Chorus Coral.
whatever.
It has what's coming in through all these
Or a
ships.
squirrel?
Where they're coming from, what it's smuggled through, who it's smuggling for, buyers, sellers. You got people in this book who are fancy pantses from the academy. You've got people in these books who are desperate cretins, in the widow's word. You've got people in these books from Stony Heath, from the Hawking, all the way to Solonel. So, Jacques Touchard, the information master of the harbor, at your disposal, I suppose, till my throat is slit, or you provide me a way out.
Fantastic. See, I knew when I first met you, all those months ago, that we would be good business partners.
And you see she grins, and you can see like some of those gold teeth she has that you remember from first meeting her, as she just sort of gives like the first true like bellowing laugh that you remember from how she was before.
Oh, Jacques Touchard, if I had known in that day that you'd be the death of me, I'm not so sure I'd have accepted your money. But we're here now.
And at that, he kind of stands up, pushes himself away from the table, and goes,
It's not me that's going to kill you, Winnifred. It's him and that damned syndicate he hides behind. Believe in Mr. Greaves.
and at that, Jacques turns to the side and spits.
The only thing I believe in is what's in front of me. As far as I'm concerned, there's no Mr. Greaves. And you've just got a bunch of fucks going around trying to fuck with you and everyone else in this damn city and beyond.
She looks at you and she sort of sighs and says,
Oh, that's what I thought too. But when you're staring at the shadow, that abyss, oh, you start believing.
Does it have a name? The shadow that came to you.
None was given to me. It's just here, or not. And all you can see is its smile. in the dark. Sharp teeth. The two tusks. Oh, you might still be the death of me, Jacques. Because the further you chase this rabbit hole, the more you'll change too.
Luckily, I'm adaptable. I move with the wind, baby.
And then she kind of like cracks out of like whatever daze she was just in, and she was saying all of that as fear, as she was thinking about her future and her death probably. And then she's like, oh, this is who I'm allying with. And then she looks past you to Bruce. Can I leave now? Or are you going to put me in a big sack?
It depends. No, I'll let you leave.
One last thing, Winnifred. We need some names.
What names are you looking for?
At this, Jacques looks over at Bruce and then back at her and goes,
Who in the academy is dealing with Mr. Greaves?
You see, she looks out the window that Bruce crawled in through, just sort of like she's clearly like listening for the nighttime air. She's not said anything incriminating necessarily, other than that she'll work with you at this point. It's a sobering moment you can see in her eyes, both of you, even you, Bruce, with your drummer sense that she is, for the first time in this interaction, realizing maybe she should be quieter than she's been. The shadow is only just left. And she looks around. She says, where are you staying?
Askin Crow.
Under your name, Jacques Touchard?
Yep. I'm not hiding.
I'll send you a list. Everyone at the university working within this spider web.
We appreciate it. And we appreciate you, Winnifred.
One
Well-
last thing. How did well, he claims that there was a smoke monster in here. How did you get contact with this thing? And Bruce is like now jumping on like the ground of area where it was, and is like, I don't really see anything too unique about this area. So why here? And how did you get in contact with it? Or summon it, for that matter?
You don't summon the agents of Mr. Greaves, and you don't intentionally meet with them. They find you, one way or another, even when you don't even realize you're working for them. And you hope you never find the day where they're actually talking to you face to face.
So you just came to this abandoned building randomly? And...
No, you fucking... I had other
Yeah, that's a
contacts
pretty
that said
stupid
there
question.
was a lockbox needing with information. Have you ever heard about a drop-off point?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got that information from somewhere.
Yeah, a drop-off point I came to, and then suddenly there was a fucking smoke monster in the way you put it.
Who gave you the Dropbox?
Look, she looks to you, Jacques, and then to Bruce, as if she was trying to completely avoid that question by mocking Bruce.
Who do you think? Orkwood? Now, is that enough for you for this evening?
Bruce snaps his fingers, and you could hear his trap just disarm or just dissipate.
Yeah. I must imagine it like comes apart and then like the parts just like flow into your bag again.
So it was I just a snare spell.
Oh, it was a simple snare. Okay. So it vanishes and she looks at the door and she looks to you, Jacques, as she slowly gets up.
Please be my guest. As he just gestures to the door.
And she slowly walks through, keeping her distance from Bruce as she passes him. And she's
just looking in one direction.
As she leaves.
One eye blinks and the other.
And you can hear her rush down the stairs.
Got that one pretty well.
Bruce messages Septimus. She's gonna run out the door. Just don't stop her. Let her go. There's been a change of plans than what we initially thought.
And as you say that, Septimus, you hear her. Like she zoomed down those stairs. You hear her walk out into the night.
Zoom.
Bruce, you kind of like look around. And like now that like that tense moment's over, you kind of like just look around the room and it just reminds you, you take this however you will and digest it however Bruce will. But it makes you think back to over a month ago when you found yourself in a similar abandoned building where you found a dead body that was insinuated to have been someone who suffered the fate that Winnifred is talking about. And however that digests in Bruce's head, whether it's him thinking about how far he's come along or reminds him of how he felt that night.
Yeah.
Because there's never been a more certain symbol that you are all firmly now within the webs of Mr. Greaves. And for you as well, Jacques, however that would cross your mind. But would you do anything else here or gather yourselves and head to the next location?
Pass wall would still be up, so Jacques would just exit out that way and make his way down the fire escape to meet back up with Septimus.
I imagine Bruce will spider crawl out.
Yeah, just walk down the side
casually.
Of the yeah. Hands in pockets if you could.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, definitely, totally. Just completely just walking as if it's the ground on the side of the building until you two of you meet back up with Septimus.
You good?
Better than good. We've got the main source of information in Hyven. The harbor master herself is on our side.
Well, good. Well, fill me in with the details later. We should probably get out of this area.
Of course.
Jacques says as he flips up the collar of Septimus's father's trench coat.
Oh, yeah.
As he slinks into the shadows but still walks back with the other two.
Okay.
And I imagine, unless they had somewhere else to go, we'd go back to the Cask and Crow.
Mm-hmm. And I imagine at some point, Fionn and Sass would finish their celebrations.
You're gonna have to carry me. I'm very drunk.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Fionn gets his armor back on and spends the whole night binge drinking with Sea Witch, and he keeps making jokes like, you know what? I wasn't really I tried to be a part of the plan, but I really wasn't. Like, they told me to do something and I tried to be helpful, and then it didn't really turn out to help at all. In fact, I almost hindered
they
it.
Do that, don't they? They make us feel special and then they just fucking shit all over us.
Yeah,
right?
Like they think they're so much better than us.
I know they do, and it's fucked, Fionn. We're
You know what?
fucking special.
We should do our own plan. Like we should show them that we're much better than they are. Like
Yeah,
maybe
like what?
oh maybe
What?
we could fake your death.
Again? We did that already, and it didn't fucking work, and I had to chase a
Maybe
fucking
I could like
pig.
throw you down a hole or something.
Why? And then
I
and
mean,
then wait, and then you get to be the big knight in shining armor and then fish me out of the hole. No, I don't fucking think so.
no, you.
How about I throw you down a
fake
hole?
your death so they get off your trail, and then you can do secret things that are.
Fionn, that didn't fucking work the last time.
But it was fun.
It was fucking fun. You know, maybe we just do it again because it was fun. I don't feel very good.
Me neither.
Should we? I'm gonna. Oh dear. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my hammock.
Your hammock? You have a
Yeah.
hammock?
A hammock, yeah, that's where I fucking sleep. A hammock.
Whoa.
Especially
But
on the floor.
I thought those were for ships only.
No, they're in hostels too. Are there hammocks? Am I
They're
making
not
it up?
hammocks. They're bunk beds. They're like iron
Well,
bunk beds.
Great. Wait a minute. Wait. No, it's not a hammock.
Can you
No,
make
it's
me
not
a
a
hammock?
Okay. Yeah. You know, Fionn, what's the fucking best thing? If you find, I did this once. Or maybe I was drunk then too, and I just imagined it. But either way, you have to find 2 trees, and you string the blankets between them. And it's best to do it on a beautiful day, because if it's raining, then it's not good. But you put the hammock on, and you just connect it between the trees, and then you just lay in it, and it's beautiful.
We
I
should
wanna
do
sleep-
that.
We should do that.
Can we do that now?
No,
It's a beautiful night.
Can we do that? No, can we do it tomorrow instead of training?
No.
Fuck. All right, well, I'm gonna go.
And it's at that exact point that I imagine the two of you black out. And the last thing anyone sees of you two is you two just sort of stumbling through the streets, laughing and talking about hammocks and beautiful days. Okay. The other 3 of you do get back to the Cask and Crow. Now, do you turn in for the night and plan to reconvene in the morning about everything, or is there anything else you want to do tonight?
I think Jacques would head off to bed, unless anyone else had something to bring up.
Septimus would just want at least to get the details of everything. So
okay.
So it's just, I mean, we don't have to play it, but just so he can sleep on it throughout the night.
Yeah.
What the maybe next steps are.
Okay. Yeah, Bruce is probably going to, stress about having a target on his back now, and whether or not.
And Jacques will stress. He's just like, look, they know about you guys, but if you haven't noticed, I am trying to paint the target on my back. Iron and Mana is going after Mr. Greaves, but Jacques Touchard is pushing to go after Mr. Greaves. Do you understand?
Okay. But Bruce is like hesitant to believe what.
And look, let me just say that we've come a long way since fighting raccoons at your homestead, Septimus. Okay? Both of you have shown yourself in combat. Not to mention what Saskia and Fionn can do. There's a reason why Fionn is at fight night right now and not here. Because that's what he does best. He fights. And with those 2 and the 3 of us, fucking there is nothing Iron and Mana can't do here. And that's why the time is right to take down this fucking Mr. Greaves piece of shit.
I'm gonna roll an insight whether or not Bruce is like, all right,
Yeah, just a personal insight, not even an insight of him.
Unfortunately, that was pretty good.
Bruce might be a little amped.
No, the opposite.
Oh, I'm sorry. So Bruce is a little skeptical still.
No, I think you're right. Just need to make sure that we do it smartly.
And
Don't
that's
go into
why
another endeavors of just charging right in.
And that's why I need you too. And he says this you too, but he, goes back to Septimus and he goes, I know how to start fights, as does Fearn, but I don't know how to best, what's the word? Envision. Well, I guess I do kind of see everything. I see all the angles, but yes, I need someone to make sure that we are fighting smart as well.
I've got a lot to think about tonight. We best probably
You can think
meet
on
in
the morning. Get some good sleep. We'll catch up Fearn and Sass when they come by after their workout, if they even get that far.
I wonder how they did tonight. Or at least how Fearn did in the fight.
Getting up to stretch and leave, Jackwit's like, oh, he won. No doubt in my mind.
So, three of you get your good night's rest. As Fearn and Sass end up somewhere. And slowly but surely the morning comes with little interruptions in the evening. You all know. Bad dreams of snowy landscapes, no evil-eyed machina interrupting your sleep. Jacquet sleeps as well as he always does. As the morning comes, with a bright, shiny, sunny day, as Sass and Fearn, you both awake on the beach. It is well past your workout time. And there is what one could call a hammock built.
I imagine I'm just like in between the two trees, and like one of the palm fronds from like one of the trees is like in my hand, and like you could tell like there's an indent in the ground from where I fell out of the tree, like trying to get it.
And I'm just totally starfished on the ground, just drooling.
Oh yeah. There's a tarp over you, Sass. That is the attempted hammock. That you have no idea where you found this tarp. You may have nicked it off of a boat, or whatever. And you're both of you covered in sand. Fearn, it's gonna take you a while to clean this plate armor out of all the sand that's gotten inside of it.
Oh no. Why is it so fucking bright?
It's
Oh. Why?
I cast darkness.
Oh, that's better. Thank you. And I can see through that. Wow. Oh gosh. I'm gonna go wash the sand off in the water. I'll be right back. And I'm gonna go dive.
Oh yeah.
Fearn struggles to get up, and he's just like he takes off like one of his like greaves and like pulls it out, and like he's just like shaking it, and the sand just keeps coming.
Yeah, and you can very clearly tell that the both of you absolutely went swimming last night. As there's just like, not just sand, but like wet, muddy sand comes out as well. As the two of you have a rough little morning and clean off in the ocean, but can head back to the Cask and Crow to meet with your friends.
I absolutely am still dripping wet. Again.
Yeah, Fearn's not taking off his armor, so there's not really anything he can do about that.
Absolutely. I mean, it is a bright, sunny day, so you are mostly dry by the time you get to the Cask and Crow, but you are damp. And Fearn, it is very uncomfortable within this armor.
I'm
but
chafing everywhere.
as the two of you walk in, and I imagine the other three have been waiting for you. So they've finished their breakfasts.
Wow, looks like you two had a night.
I go and sit down and just put my head on the table immediately.
So you won, right?
In one way, I'd say they lost another.
I have something I'd like to say, and with my head still on the table, and I just root around in my bag and pull out a damp spork and just hold it up next to me, and then slowly pick my head up. I'm frustrated that you didn't include me in the plan. I'm not just frustrated, I'm fucking pissed. You didn't tell me what was going on. Fearn had no fucking clue what was going on. And I'm very angry. And I'm so mad. Do I mean nothing to you? Just looking at anybody, looking at the three of them equally in turn.
Mage hand comes out to go reach for the spork.
Saskia, you left. And then we did what we thought was best. We did not leave you out of the plan. You were not present. When you are there, we will include you. And I'll be honest, I would have loved to have your invisibility and your disguise self abilities. I think you would have really had a lot of effort to show us here. But you weren't feeling well, and that's okay. And we did not mean any of this as a personal attack. You just weren't there. So I'm sorry if we didn't include you, he says as he brings back the spork.
The unfortunate logic of Jacquette's statement floods you, Sass, to the point where you're almost like, God damn it.
No. I mean, yes, but no. I guess... Maybe I would have liked someone to come after me. To see if I was okay. Maybe. But fine, fuck, fine. Whatever, it's fine. Moving on. What the fuck happened?
Well, Jacquette says as he leans in. Were you gonna...
No. I can wait. It can wait.
Well, so, at the other business, we spied Winnifred, right?
And then Jacquette starts to recount, and, you know, he's like, Bruce and Septimus followed her, and I slipped through the shadows, and was, with the night, and I flew up and listened in, and the shadows spoke to Winnifred, and at some point...
Brass taxes. Too many words.
Right, sorry. The point is, Winnifred is working with us now. I offered her jail or double agent. Either way, she's probably gonna end up dead. But at least in one way, she gets to work against Mr. Greaves instead of being locked up in the dungeon of the Commodore's office. I don't know if they have a dungeon here. I actually don't know what the penal system is like. But that's neither here nor there. The point is Winnifred... Do you have a question?
Yeah. You passed up 2,000 silver pieces?
There is a very long list of individuals on that bounty list.
Is there?
This was the bottom of the list. This was the first thing that came to their mind. They were like, Winnifred Teague. Okay, let's go. I don't know exactly how fate will decide it for us, whether we'll have a number of other bounties to choose from, but having Winnifred as the harbor master, as a font of information, she's the linchpin of making everything happen. Everything goes through her. And if Mr. Greaves and his syndicate thinks that she still works for them, We can use that to our advantage to catch all the rest of them up in a nice big trap.
I've just never seen you pass up gold, silver, money.
I'm not passing up silver. I'm investing 2,000 silver in Winnifred's freedom to cash in what I am sure will be tens, if not hundreds of thousands of silvers raining down on us when Mr. Greaves or whoever the fuck makes up this shadow organization is locked behind bars.
I have another question, but Septimus, go first.
With what Jekwet heard last night too, it's obvious that the Syndicate already has targets on all of us. We are the Iron and Mana, the revered group of adventurers that are going to bring justice back to Hyven, regardless of whether or not what we do with Winnifred, or even if we pursue Mr. Greaves, they'll have their eyes on us. So it's something that we'll need to deal with in time. So this is definitely, I think, good to have for information and to guarantee our safety.
Yeah, I'll say just real quickly, the thing that most stands out to everyone from Jacquette's retelling is the fact that this syndicate does know each and every single one of you as a part of Iron and Mana and a part of the overall web of Hyven. One, that's probably the peak thing. Two, obviously you all can recognize, like the way he describes the shadowy entity that is, you know, exactly as it is, some sort of entity, some sort of messenger. And then three, the general statement of like the motif that they kept saying, believe in Mr. Greaves. Do you believe in Mr. Greaves? Like that is just a standout that comes from the explanation of what he saw. Proceed.
I wonder if it's like a fairy thing where you have to believe in it, otherwise it doesn't exist.
Does this mean I'm fired?
One at a time.
Because I really didn't want to go into work anyway. I would that job really didn't make much. I mean, it was fun and all, but
You do what you want. If you don't want to go back to the docks, no one will bat an eye. I guarantee you, Fjern. As to your comment, Saskia, Jacquet pauses, and he's
never
like,
heard the stories?
"No, I have, and I hadn't considered that."
Fairies need somebody to believe in them. If they don't exist.
That's just what he's all about, isn't he, this Mr. Greaves? I don't think he's real. Well, the idea of him is real, but I don't think there's any one individual that is a Mr. Greaves. I see some kind of shadow organization that's made up of people, and this is just me going off on a limb here, but people like maybe the Commodore, or Marvello at the Academy, whoever runs the Otter business, hell, even Mr. HR or RH, whatever is fucking the
AR.
KR from the Harlequin and Chalice. Just, people that aren't.
So, what type of information did she give you that makes it worth keeping her alive?
It's not necessarily what she's given us right now, and I want to make something clear. We were never supposed to kill her. That was not in the bounty. It was to get evidence and then bring her back alive with said evidence.
Right, but extenuating circumstances. The Commodore wants her dead, and so does Mr. Greaves, right?
No. I do not think the Commodore wants her dead. If there's one thing I'm learning about the Commodore is that she might actually be one of the few people in the city that stand for law and order.
She did make this cool pin. I don't think somebody who would, was evil would make something this rad.
Now, going back to her, like, if we can trust her or not, this visage that appeared in front of her made it very clear that if she would have any dealings with us or mess up again, that she would not be given a second chance. For her to even mention that she even spoke with us or that she's playing a double agent, I would doubt that Mr. Greaves or whoever would even hear it and just get rid of her themselves there. So she has a lot to lose, which is her life, and we are her best hope for staying alive.
Did you guys tell us that the the only thing you could see was the smile and the tusks. Would that have been mentioned?
Yeah. There's no reason why Jacques wouldn't have recounted that.
So if we're trying to keep her alive, maybe I should keep my job and go use it as a way
No.
to stay close to her?
No, well, I'm not just telling you no, but I had an idea of how we can guarantee her security, because that's something that she had mentioned to you, Chiquette. I think we shouldn't pursue much with her any longer, or even at all with Mr. Greaves and then this whole syndicate. Mr. Greaves, or I keep calling him Mr. Greaves, the figure,
The fairy.
told her to deal
Calling him
with
a
us.
fairy.
And that if we were to show our noses around or be any snoopy, that'd be the end of her. So if we stick around, they're probably off her. So I was thinking, in what way could we pretend that we just lost interest? Perhaps, looking to Jaquette for a second, maybe a bit of corruption? We pretend, well, we can let her know that she's paid us off. We do a little, I don't know, show where we go down to the docks, enter her abode or wherever she works, coming out with a bag of presumably money. And then from there, we just don't go there anymore. Make it seem like she did what she was supposed to do, as this figure told her. That would be the best way to keep her safe, is to have this person think that we're no longer a problem.
Oh, and then we could arrest someone else. And then it'll look like we're not on their trail at all.
I had a thought. You said the shadow had tusks, right?
Yeah, Winnifred described all you see is a shadow, sharp teeth, and these two tusks.
Do you remember that fucker we fought back in almost said Brackling Glen, in
Billowgrass.
Billowgrass?
Yeah.
The floating guy,
Shadowmancer.
the Shadowmancer. Yeah. Didn't he have tusks?
He was a half-orc.
What if he's the fairy? They're part of this fairy network.
Not a bad thought.
Action.
Do you think Riordan might have any information on that? Guy,
Maybe.
at least.
Yeah.
I had gotten everything I could out of Riordan back at Billowgrass. Dalen seemed as much a mystery to that group of bandits as he was to us.
Dalen. Well, maybe that's somebody else we can start asking about, yeah?
Not bad. There was a connection.
See, this is why you fucking include me in the plan, because I have fucking things to say, Jacquette.
Again, you weren't there.
I'm
really
just
think
saying.
your line of argument is flawed.
Saying. Nope, I'm saying you're a bad fucking friend. My next question. Why are you so obsessed with bringing down Mr. Greaves? This has been your fucking thing ever since we came here and you first heard about him, and you've had it out for him. Why?
Jacquette pauses. And for like the first time, like he doesn't immediately just like launch into some stupid fucking story or joke or like throw it off or something. And he stares, like I imagine he stares like between Fionn and Sass because they're at the end of the table, and just kind of stares off into the middle distance as he's just like biting at his claw.
You know, Winnifred asked me the same thing.
Kind of.
And honestly,
And he gives them all the same half-mad grin.
I just fucking hate the guy. I don't know what it is. Just something about hiding in the shadows and controlling everything.
That's what you fucking do.
No.
Do you see yourself, Jacquette? Do you see yourself and you don't like what you see?
No. Jacquette Touchard is not in the shadows. Jacquette Touchard is front and fucking center. Everyone knows my name in this town, or Jackie Touche. And everyone in the fucking world is going to know my name. So where the fuck does this guy get off thinking he can hide like a fucking coward behind these shadows and the syndicate, behind all these little fucking people? When you just gotta show yourself for who you are. If you're fucked, you're fucked.
Does Septimus just stops himself?
No, what's what you're going to say? So I might be thinking the same thing.
Does LaRue agree with that mentality?
Nah.
Okay,
Why don't you fucking slap him when he said the name? Huh?
because I like him better. Can we please? And at this, like, it's a low whispered hiss. Not use that name around here? Okay? And at this, he, like, gestures everyone to get in as he, like, moves in a little closer and goes, look, the De Leon brothers are not with Greaves. If I can use my position as LaRue to get more information from them, that's just another angle we have to work, okay? I'll burn them the moment we need to. But for the time being, they are a valuable asset to our cause. So please use a little discretion. Just try. Okay?
Fion's just got his arms crossed, and you see in one of his hands slips a small piece of paper, and he just waves it, like, carefully.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Which is why I didn't want to mention it.
At the mention of discretion, as you're all huddled closely together, a package is slammed onto the table.
Oh,
and
Bruce.
pushed across.
Bruce, you got a package. Bruce.
Zip it!
Hana.
Zip it!
Well, very
I've given
forward
him
of
the
you, Sea
message.
Witch.
As she shoves a wrapped package across the table to Bruce. Your package has arrived, Bruce.
I just
The
fucking told
30
him.
silver it cost me to send it is on your bill.
Thank you, Kana. This is not like in like a very happy mood. Bruce is like happy to see the package, but he's like, this is stressful.
Excuse me, Kana. I think that was pretty unprofessional. The way you handled that package.
Not hard, Dave. Finn. I gotta go clean up your mess. All that sand and seawater. But she just looks at Sass before Sass can say anything.
Every time
You're lucky.
come into this establishment.
You're lucky. You're all friends with Mr. Touchard, our highest paying customer in the last few months.
Everybody knows my name, baby.
You should have seen you saw the crowd last night. Everybody knows mine.
As she walks away.
Jacquet, dagger.
Yeah, Bruce, I was supposed to tell you.
You don't
where
even
the
notice
package
where it came from, but all of a sudden he's just got a dagger in his hand, offering it to Bruce. Handle first.
Thank you. Bruce is just gonna open up the package.
Yep. There are 3 things in the package. There is a Koboko special. A Koboko special Tupperware that can keep food for up to a month safe. As you would see inside is 100% some of Grammy's special cookies.
Oh my god. And Bruce tests that.
Yeah.
What is it?
God.
These cookies will also act as good berries in the sense of mechanics. You see a nice silken
Wait,
sack.
how many cookies are in there?
Oh, that's actually a good question. There are a dozen cookies.
Oh, thank you, Graham.
Yeah, you have a
That's
dozen.
better than casting Goodberry.
Yeah, you have a dozen good berry cookies.
We're dying. He's unconscious. Eat a cookie.
Eat the cookie. You also would find a very neatly wrapped in silk, a small package that you know
Silk.
to contain exactly what you asked for, the special chalks.
Oh.
And then you would also have found within it a small speaking stone, which you would know if plays a single recording.
All right. Oh, all right. Bruce is gonna take the stone, and activate the recording at the bottom of it, and then put it in the middle of the table for the.
Yeah,
everybody to hear.
it's definitely like something that you need to, the configuration to activate it. Now,
Bean reaches for a cookie.
Bruce just slaps, and then pulls the Tupperware closer to him, and then just puts it in his bag.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Everybody can have a little bit of peace. Bruce breaks one cookie and hands it out to everybody.
Thank you, Bruce.
Uncle both.
Now, the two of you who are deeply hungover, this cookie cures your hangover almost immediately.
Oh, damn, Grandma.
Yeah.
Grandma.
Bruce, these are the best fucking cookies I've ever had in my life. I feel fantastic.
These are really good.
Wow.
Yeah, this is only one flavor.
Wow.
What flavor?
Fucking delicious.
So as soon as you use the magical configuration on the speaking stone, you immediately realize though this is Selena speaking stone. This is her special speaking stones. So you can see it doesn't just speak, but you see in a magical hologram, one might say, of a bluish color, you would see the form of Selena. Now, I'm gonna give you the opportunity, Bruce, since Selena is the daughter of your previous character. What does Selena look like?
That's a great question, Sean.
I know that I am not dodging to you.
I imagine Selena is she's very well kept. She's beautiful. Obviously beautiful.
Of course.
Obviously.
Brown-haired human with her hair that goes, it's very long hair that reaches down to probably, like, I don't know, her shoulders. She wears really beautiful blue robes with gold lining, or silver lining, I'll also say. And I don't know. I don't really have like a great description of her. She's very serious looking.
Mhm.
No discernible features. She's got no scars or anything. She looks pretty normal.
Yeah.
Just like Timber, pretty normal dude. Except also a dog. Yeah.
So you see this
She's
woman.
not a dog.
She's not a dog. Perfect. So you see this woman who looks like she's probably in her late 30s, early 40s. Just like Alex said, very straightforward. No scars. Doesn't look like someone who went on epic adventures. Just looks like someone who's living their life. With this brown hair held back, it falls to her shoulders, but she might, even in the hologram, you see she starts to put it up. She's got these robes, but they're clearly like meant to be working robes. As you can see, she's like literally like set up this stone like in front of her as if it was like capturing like a camera almost. As she would be looking and she'd be like, oh, okay. She checks the stone.
Oh no! Is this gonna be?
What?
Is that your girlfriend?
Oh no! She's somebody I work with.
She's single?
The hologram sort of like glitches for a second and like she freezes and then comes back to this is experimental. So it's very much like as like her hologram comes back to form. So, Bruce,
like hits the side of the recording, just
and then it's like almost like rapidly fast forwards until it's just like, Bruce, is it you? Are you getting this? You can't talk back to me. I was able to get what you asked for, but Dean is not very happy with me. You know it's going to go on your it's going to come out of any kind of future paychecks coming out of any of your future paychecks, Bruce. This I don't know if that's what you were hoping for, but you're not going to be able to collect from Koboko for a little while because you know how expensive this is, and you know I had to get it from Dean, and then I had to also go through Ned, and then of course Nina was not happy when I decided that I was going to send it through magical mailing. I promised Dean that you were working on big things in Hyven, and that you were going to help us expand. But that's not why I sent this call to you. Is it true what you're saying that you found in Hyven? A machina that works of its own accord. A sentience within it. This is what we've been looking for. Oh. Regardless, it's just good to hear from you. I was very, very worried. We were all very worried. I visited Grammy Boone the other day. She gave me these cookies for you. She's very concerned. Very concerned. You know, you're all she has, Bruce. But no, I'm sorry. No, I only have a certain amount of time to talk on this thing, and I'm wasting it on chit-chat. I'll look into the thing you asked me to look into. Not heard of that term before, Modron. But I can see if I can make my way into some of the libraries here in Halcyon. Things are not great in Halcyon right now. I guess there was an attack in the sea. It's been quite... security is just very tight here now. So it's also very hard to get this out for you. But I hope to hear from you again. And I can... I'll get my messages to you if I can. But everyone is okay here. Things are okay. We miss you, Bruce. I hope to hear from you again. And then you see her kind of reaching for the stone as it fizzes out.
Bruce just like under his goggles. All right. That was a lot.
That was nice. She seemed like she really liked you.
She's my boss, all right? She's a great human being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah?
No, Jack Wet, no. She's not.
I didn't
my
say
girlfriend.
anything.
Previously, you said if...
Yeah, and you said she wasn't, and then I did ask a follow-up question whether she was single or not, which you have not answered.
She is. Yeah.
Oh.
At least, maybe since I've been gone, she's now taken. I don't know.
Sure.
Anyway. All right, so here's another question. Do we want to go to Septimus's house at some point? This... And Bruce picks up the silky little bag with Bruce knows that has the chalk in it. Leaning in closer and quieter, I can make a teleportation circle.
Oh.
Wow. That's what all that money nonsense was about?
Yeah, this is not cheap. This is really expensive. And I got it at a significant discount because Kobo can make it. Or
So that lets you teleport back.
it can help us make a permanent teleportation circle.
What if you put a teleportation circle on a boat?
You know, that's honestly a really good question. I wouldn't want to waste all the money I just spent on this to try that, but at some point I'd love to.
Bruce, I'm gonna tell you how much money you just spent.
Oh no.
A pack of chalk that can make an instant teleportation circle permanent is worth 15,000 silver pieces.
Told you.
My goodness.
I mean, he's the grandson of
That's a lot of
company.
fight nights, Sean. I gotta beat up a lot of people for that.
It is technically cheaper than what it would cost to make a teleportation circle permanently.
That would be 18,250 by my
Correct.
calculations.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so if it's worth it for us not to spend all our nights here.
Wait. You want to leave Haven?
Well, I mean, I figured having business operations outside of Hyven, and then we could easily come back in.
Also, I mean, from what we found out too, have a little haven where we can't have eyes just peering on us
Right.
might be useful.
Rather sleep soundly at night.
I mean, I sleep pretty soundly in my penthouse room.
Yeah, well, you don't have fucking eyeballs staring at you that are glowing red in the middle of the night, so
Not yet. Fingers crossed.
that's yeah.
Knock on
Oh.
wood.
I mean, it seems like a good thing to have, whether or not we decide to stay there overnight every night. I mean, Bruce really stuck his neck out on this one, it seems, and,
I mean, if we don't use it, I have another idea for a use for it, but
what were you thinking?
oh no, it would be for personal use of maybe teleportation to Halcyon. But that's
Oh, to go see your girlfriend, not girlfriend,
no,
boss lady.
no. That's a little ways away. That requires a lot of planning for a god to figure out.
Oh, yeah, planning to see how you're going to ask her out. My experience, if you want it, Bruce, is just best to say what's in your heart. Just let her know how you feel.
Oh, is that the way of it?
He glares at her.
What do you know about romance, Jacquet?
Yeah, how do you woo a woman, Jacquet? Woo me, right now.
I don't think there's anyone in all the planes that could woo you, Saskia. Because you're a strong, independent woman. And you don't take that from no man. You choose who you want and you go after her, right, girlfriend?
No.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, all you gotta do, Bruce, take it from somebody who can woo a woman. All you have to do is be the strongest person in your village. You just gotta challenge the strongest person you can find on the street and make sure everybody knows it.
Oh, Fearon, hypothetically, if you were in my clan, would you, for me, would you, lose to me? Or
No.
battle you?
I mean, that's really difficult, My oath does say that I need to, respect and honor my comrades, but it also means that I should never not give my hardest. Like, I must train, and I must be the most powerful, and I must never belittle myself by weakening my punches, except for training, of course.
Hey.
S-
You've been fucking pulling back on your punches, Fearn?
Only enough that you can learn and get better. You'll get there someday. But
Bruce-
anyway, besides that, let's get back to the point at hand. If you were to challenge me in front of this, you know, what should we call her? Selena, the boss.
Teenage Witch? No, that's Sabrina.
Well, anyway, if you wanted me to take a fall for you, I promise you, I would never do it. But I would.
All right.
I would beat anybody up who said anything terrible about you, and I
Well,
promise you that.
thank you, Feared. She's no, she's not my girlfriend. She's not my love interest. She's my boss. Can we move on? Let's get back to our what we want to do today.
Well, we just learned that you spent a lot of money on this magical teleporty thing, and I think it's
Sounds like-
really nice that you want to spend it on us, or have a community use of it. Why?
Sounds
why
like
don't?
he took it out on credit, which is, not the same thing because he could always default on it, but
He understands.
So, an
What?
incredible gesture.
Look, I don't know what default means, but I'm sure it can't be that bad, and we'll help you get through it.
really
if-
not actually.
Anyway, do you want to help us and make this thing? Because honestly, I think the farm needs a lot of work, and this might help, Septimus a lot if you were to, use it the way you first said. But I don't want to take it away from you if you want to go back to Hyven someday.
I'm
Halcyon.
gonna hold on
Halcyon.
to it for now. Until we decide what we want to do.
I think it's your choice, but you do what you want, Bruce.
Oh, I know it's my choice. I bought it.
Okay. You just keep saying we.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys have an influence on my
He
decisions.
likes us.
Bruce does not blush.
So, as the teasing of Bruce starts to subside, do you all know what you want to do next? You have, I believe, a day or two or so until Sigil said that he might have another job for you.
Did Winnifred say when she was gonna drop off that list?
It was
Jack?
going to come at some point today, is what she told you.
I was going to cycle back to what Jaquette
Yes.
thought that Septimus said earlier about
What did-
pretending to be paid off by her.
Oh, yes. So read that conversation about being paid off by her. I think that's not a bad idea. However, if we get paid off by her, then it makes it seem like we heard what happened there, and that might still have a target on her back. Right?
Possible. Or
I
she
mean-
could just say that she reached out to us with an offer
Okay.
to get us away after the conversation she had we don't know about.
So do we want to pay Winnie a visit today? And get paid off? Or maybe Bruce can message her
I was going to
from a
mention.
distance?
I was going to mention and see if he can message her, and one, let her know of what we're thinking, and two, make sure that there's, I guess, no way that Mr. Greaves or any of his associates can hear anything, like there's a bug or something in her.
Bug?
You know, like
Like this?
Ugh.
Little
the
fraud
way
comes
that-
out of her cheek. Quite literally,
Way that
actually,
somebody
yes,
not
a
back in
bug.
here.
In the sense that you are thinking of the term.
Yeah.
A fly on the wall, as they say.
Yes. Thank you for putting it.
You're welcome.
Scrying
well-
eye, perhaps.
I can
Who
I
said
can send her a
that?
message. So I'm just messaging her saying, give us a sack of something.
How about this?
What
How about
does-
this, folks? I think that's a good place for us maybe to call it tonight, so you all can
Oh,
consider what you want to send to her.
Give her a sack.
Yeah, give you a sec.
Yeah.
Give you all a sec.
You gotta really like have Bruce phrase it correctly, because the way that you're just about to just send it to her, just like us escorting her. It's like, yeah, we'll be
Yeah.
over in a little bit for 100 silver.
Yeah.
So.
Also, just considering that Bruce is like literally the worst character to be the sender because he says so many times when he talks.
Amazing.
But no, what we will end on is the fact that the group is at the very least in consolidation in the fact that they need to work towards something within this Mr. Greaves campaign to protect themselves paramount. That is obvious to you all that you cannot just run away from this. It is something that must be dealt with in some way. Maybe that way is running away to the farm. But something tells me Mr. Greaves' tendrils definitely expand at least 2 days out of Hyphen, given his connections all the way to Solonel. I think it is. But you will discern how you want to approach Winnifred, and you'll discern how you all want to go about your business in Hyven, knowing that that you do truly have targets on your backs within this city now. You are no longer just nobodies within this city. You are very much so somebody, and very much somebody who has shaken several hornets' nests. But that is where we'll call it tonight. Next week, we'll pick back up with your plan on how to rendezvous with Winnifred and what you want to do next within Hyven and the surrounding areas. Thank you, folks, for hanging out with us. We're going to end there. We're going to send a raid on over to Queen's Court Games, give them some love from Paradice, and we will see you all sometime soon in next week. And to see what happens next within Aldhalor and Hyven. Thank you for joining us tonight. See you all very soon. Good night. Bye.
Bye.